one of the things is to not to do on a first date, or is, ease off the intensity, which I really quite brought to our conversation. I mean, we're not on a first date, but it's a good example.
Perfect example of what we're talking about,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Because
It
it'll,
all came out. It
yeah,
all
it was
rushed
like,
out.
I just ruined it.
Did you push record?
Thanks for tuning back into Second Act TV. Robert Manni is back for one more segment talking about 11 relationships after 50, specifically getting back out on the dating scene. In this rather hectic, chaotic world right now, Robert, welcome back to Second Act TV.
Thank you. Thank you, Silka. Glad to be here.
Quick reminder, Robert is the host of Guys Guy Radio. We will link to his fabulous show that drops here in LA every Wednesday, and the author of the Guys Guy Guide to Love, especially for women. So get your
Thank
copy.
you.
I loved it. Robert, we've talked in our previous two segments, which we'll link to as well, just about this new dating reality, of the world we're in quarantine, COVID-19. Also, I want to mention that we're kind of gearing these segments more towards men because of our previous shows. You've received a lot of comments from men and actual
Right.
personal
Yeah.
contact that have led us to do these today. So as we stated in our past segment, the first date, yeah, it can be tough to get first dates, but it's much tougher actually to get the second date. What do you talk to me
Yeah.
about that?
Well, first of all, thank you, Silka. Just for the guys out there, some of the same issues that you're going to face when dating in COVID are the same as you would face when dating without COVID anyhow. So if you've managed to get to that first date where you actually meet the woman face to face for the first time, now you're in the age of COVID, so you got to bring a mask along. You got to be respectful. Hopefully, you've sorted out where your potential partner is in terms of the mask and protection and all of that. And then you have to go by the rules that are mandated just by, life itself and the government. So you're going to have a mask on hand anyhow. And then you want to determine if you want to sit across from the table with somebody. That I would suggest getting all that done ahead of time. So you have your first date. You're sitting there. You're having a good time. What you want to do is, if you're a guy, there's a couple of reminders. One, don't talk too much. Ask three times. You're going to get asked a lot of questions. But what you need to do is, give the answers, of course. Don't be defensive. Don't try to hide anything. But also make sure you ask three times more questions to the woman, because I heard a story the other day. I was interviewing John Gray, and he said, I was with my wife the other day, and we had this long conversation. It was about 20 minutes, and I didn't say one word. And after the conversation, my wife said, that was one of the best conversations we ever had. And he said one of the biggest mistakes men make, and I agree with him, is that men talk too much. Shame on me, because I talk a lot. But I think in the context of dating, if you go out on that first, second date, of course you have to talk, but you want to make it about the woman. You want to be respectful of her. You want to go where her energy is going. If she generally wants to pull more information out of you, of course, be open with it. Don't get too personal and stuff. Don't talk about your old relationships. Don't focus on negativity, and don't get into politics, because you'll never get out of that one unless you're both in line. And then look forward to, if you see that this is somebody I want to spend time with, this is somebody I want to see again, then gear your behavior, gear your actions to guiding the date to be in a position where you can ask for another date at the end or after, or in the next couple of days, whatever.
Yeah. No, it is. It's all about the actions, or how you make somebody feel on that, what comes out of that first date that
Right.
determines whether or not you get to a second date. You made some points that I do want to comment on, though, maybe from the female perspective, or just especially in this climate, and I don't know how it'll be years from now. These videos live for a while, but the political thing, well, I agree that you stay away from it, but it's something that I think should be addressed before you even meet up.
Well, I think it's going to come up because of the COVID and all
Yeah.
the different rules, and it's been politicized, that I don't think you can get around meeting anybody new and
Right.
within 15 minutes of a discussion not
And
know
not
where they
know.
stand on politics and as politics washes over into the whole COVID issue.
Yeah, and I think that we each have to really go deep and understand. And I think this is the first time, certainly in my 50 or 60 years, that I've really had to think about how could I have a relationship with someone that is opposite of where I am, and the answer is no, flat out no. I don't know. It's not really where this video is going, but again, it's something
Well,
really good.
it is, yeah, and it could be part of a first date conversation, and you might, you know, I like to look at things. I think anything's possible, and regardless if somebody's for Trump or Biden or whatever, there's certain issues where you might find common ground. I live more on one side of the fence than the other. Yet I see the other side, and I say, I agree with this issue. I agree with that issue. I agree with this issue. I might not agree with the solutions, but I understand where they're coming from. So I don't condemn supporters of one side or the other, because they're just people and they're trying to make their way. The information you're getting from the top, I have a problem with that. But I actually think it's feasible if you really connect with somebody that, and it's not just like locked in, like every single issue I have, I'm on this side of the fence, versus let's take it issue by issue.
Right.
And if there is a little bit of give and take, I think it can work. And it always has in the past. Politics has been more of a divider now in relationship opportunities than ever. So guys, just be aware. If you look at the numbers, the majority of women are not for Trump. So that's just the way it is. I'm not saying.
Well, and I didn't mean to bring this into that discussion. I honestly
right.
didn't. But to maybe my point, or to the point of this discussion, one of the things is not to do on a first date, or is ease off the intensity, which I really quite brought to our conversation. I mean, we're not on a first date, but it's a good example.
Perfect example of what we're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Because it all
came out. It all
yeah. It was like, I just ruined it.
So that's really the point, is that, tread carefully. You should be able to find out where the person kind of stands on some of the issues before you have that first in-person meeting. And then if that's all a surprise, well, just see what you can do with it. Don't make judgments right away, because everybody has usually some rationales as to why they support certain positions, and it could be based on information that they get, and then everybody's questioning the information and all that. So anyhow, you want to get to that second date, you might want to leave that politics stuff on the side and make sure that your date, if you're the guy, that your date's having a good time, and anything you can do to make that a special time for her and make her feel appreciated, special, beautiful, smart, intelligent, without patronizing her, I think you're going to be on your way to a second date. But don't have any expectations, don't take anything for granted, and make it all about the woman, and then you have your best shot at getting that second date.
Yeah.
Because there'll be plenty of time with you. If you treat a woman the right way, there'll be plenty. It's not going to be a one-way street. I guarantee you. Women love to give. They love to take care of their guys, and they want to do their own thing and have their own stuff. That's of course. But guys don't realize how incredible it is when you are with the right woman, and how that can affect your just every day, your happiness, your health, your career, and just where you're going in life. So just guys, just be loose about stuff. Don't be so quick to judge. Make the first date about the woman, and you'll be in a good position to get that second date if you treat her with respect.
Yeah. It's interesting what you just said too. One of the questions that comes up, a lot of I get a lot of comments, complaints about, all women want is to get a free dinner. A lot of advice is on whether or not, to pay for the first date. What's your opinion? I have an opinion on it. What's yours?
Yeah, I have a strong opinion on it. I think initially, listen, everybody's equal, but I think women appreciate if a guy takes the time to figure out what her interests are, what she likes to do, plans a first date, at least serves up an idea for it. Yeah. And then at the end of that date, offers to pay. If you can't pony up to pay for the first date, I mean, come on, if you're going to start squabble about money there, pay for the first date, and you'll see over time, if it's reciprocated or not. And if it's not reciprocated after, 2 or 3 dates or whatever, and you feel like it's all coming out of your pocket and all the effort is there, then you got to say, okay, am I reading this the wrong way? Is this something I want to bring up, or this is just how she rolls? And then it's up to you. And maybe some people, some women can roll that way because a lot of guys don't have any problem spending money on her and make it 100% one-sided that way. So don't judge. Just do the right thing. Set up the date, plan the date, serve it up, pay for the date, make sure she gets home.
Yeah, there's definitely
Not that tough.
No, yeah, there's definitely some old fashioned. And again, we're talking about, this is a 50+ channel. There's definitely still some of that old fashionedness that I think is important. That a man is a man, and that's part of it. And as you said, there's lots of ways to reciprocate, and I fully recognize that there's women that take advantage of that, and I despise that.
Make the first date. You can make the first date something as you would pre-COVID. Is make it something casual,
right?
So it's not going to break you or anything. And then once you get past that, and you're getting to the second date, and you're going to spend some real money, fine, okay. But you should still offer to pay for that first kind of real juicy date. And if she insists, like, no way, I'm paying half or I'm paying the tip, okay, fine. But don't make her feel uncomfortable when that bill comes. Don't let it sit there. Grab the bill. If she's got anything to say, she will. She says, no, can I help out at all? Just say, no, I got this. And then move on. If you can't afford a date with a woman, you shouldn't be dating.
Yeah. I would agree. And I say that with that, I was never somebody that took advantage of that. And I hate hearing that that's out there, because that doesn't, that doesn't, yeah. Robert, it's always fun talking with you. We kind of go all over the place. I think we've got some, I think we had some good tips. It's a strange time. It's, as we said in other segments, the advice we'd normally give that was so straightforward, well, this is what you want to do, it's all different now. So anyway, I hope that we left our audience with something useful. Please leave us your questions and comments as you do all the time, as you have in the past, because we'd really like to address that more. In trying to prepare for these segments, we realized how little there is right now. People are just scrambling to try to figure out how to make this new world work. So though, Silke, forgive me for interrupting, but I think it's important in that everything has changed. But then again, being a good person doesn't change, and a lot of things haven't changed. So treat other people respectfully. Don't make it all about yourself. Be considerate, be polite, be a gentleman. That stuff doesn't go out of style whether you're wearing a mask or not. So if you can stick to to those foundation of rock bed of who you are as a man, as a person, then you should be okay, because this is not the end of the change with the COVID. It's just gonna keep coming at us, folks, and got to be ready. Yeah.
And that's all the more reason that's important to know who you are, know what you are, and know what you can offer other people.
Yeah. Well, I was going to see if you had something else to add. I think you just did. Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sylvia.
We will.
Thank you, everybody.
We obviously will link to all of your information, and I look forward then to the next time that we chat here on Second Act TV. Take care.
Thank you, Sylvia.
If you haven't already done so, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Just click the button right here. And if there's a topic that you'd like to have us cover, you have an idea for us, please go to our website, secondact.tv. We have a little suggestion box in the upper right-hand corner of the site. Just click on that, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.